What is up, YouTube tool tubers of the world? My name is Brad. Welcome to the workbench, and today we got another build video for you. I put this off for way too long, but I'm finally going to build a proper crosscut sled. There's many videos of this on the internet. There's many plans you can buy. I don't really believe in buying plans. I say, look at the videos, draw your inspiration, and have at it. So this is my interpretation that has been inspired from different videos that I've seen, different designs that I liked. Enjoy my build video. There'll be a little bit of narration during it, but mainly at the end I'm going to talk about all the screw-ups that happen. Alright, so to save a little time on this video, I already cut my slats to size and I already cut my plywood down to size. That's done. First thing, we're going to cut these down to the same length as the plywood. And next you'll see I'm putting down some 5/16 nuts I just had around the shop just to raise up the slats. I'll use a little super glue on there, and then I will reference my piece of plywood against the fence to try to make it as square as possible. But if it's a little off, it is not a big deal. And now just countersink and screw. And it is a good idea just to put your screws in by hand. Very thin pieces of wood we're working with, and we don't want them to split. I did chamfer the ends just a hair because I thought it'd make it easier to get it onto the table saw, but I found that when using it I mainly just set it on top and let it drop down in the slots. Now for this rip, I'm using a 40-tooth Ridge Carbide blade, and this blade is not meant for something this thick. I am just kind of testing it and seeing if it would do it. So there is a little bit of burning, but it cut it quite well actually. The only problem was once I split the wood, it twisted on me. So out to the joiner we go for each piece and to the planer. The only problem I ran into is by the time I got done getting them trued up again, they were too short. They were only about 2 inches tall. So I ended up splitting some new ones off camera and cutting them down to size. This is them right here with a little slow motion for some fun. And yeah, these ended up being about 3 inches tall. And now I'm gonna go away because this is a pretty funny part. Holy fucking Christ. Oh my God. Wow. Well, might as well spread the shit out on there now. Yeah, so shit happens. That was the first time that's ever happened to me, and I'm kind of glad it was on camera. It was pretty funny. So once I got that all cleaned up, I just decided to route all the edges with the 45, and now comes the boring sanding montage that I tried to make a little interesting. Everything was just sanded to 120 grit, and I sanded all the chamfers by hand just to smooth them out and get the areas that I couldn't hit. Now the back fence I just squared up against the plywood. I put my clamp right where the blade should be coming through to ensure I don't put a screw in that area. And then I cut through the back fence and the plywood just about halfway, just so I can get a square against the blade to reference the front fence. Now this one is very important. Take your time, get it right. Now again, I put my clamp right where the blade should be coming through. I only screw one end and then the opposite end. and make a final cut all the way through the plywood. Now it's time for the 5-cut method. I don't know the details of this. There's a way where you save your first piece, you measure it from the top and the bottom, and you do these calculations. I don't know how to do that. So all I do is make my 5 cuts and then check my remaining piece to make sure it is perfectly square. Now if you took your time lining up your front fence, your remaining piece will be perfectly square. And if it is not, you can unscrew one of the sides and make your adjustments accordingly. And now just for that final touch. Alright guys, so that's pretty much a wrap. I mean, other than putting some paste wax on the back of it, I'm gonna put a very thin layer of bull linseed oil to protect it a little bit, and plus I just really like how it makes the oak look. One thing I didn't put on camera is after I got this squared up, I had to put a little chamfer right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. And that is because whenever you're doing multiple cuts, you get dust build up there. I built this one to be for bigger stuff. Let's say I'm building like the bolt bins I built. This one has a capacity of about 19.5, and originally I wanted it to have a 24-inch capacity or thereabouts, like 22. But as I was building this, I saw Steve Ramsey's build where he put something like this in the back to protect you from the blade. There's no way that blade can get me unless I put my hand through here and run it all the way back. So I decided I really liked that, and I guess I could give up a little bit of cut capacity to be more safe. These builds were long overdue. I was going way too long just using this, and for a long time I didn't even have the extra support to the side. So I don't know if you noticed, but as I was building this bigger one, I was building a second one as well, and I didn't really document this one, but I built this little one at the same time. I'm planning on, we'll see if it works out, is this is going to be my main cross-cutting sled because it's nice and tiny. I can keep it right underneath my saw, pull it out, boom, throw it down. Now the drawbacks with this, of course, is the cut capacity right there, and that I really can't cut anything that's bigger than an inch thick because I don't want to come up too high and then you don't have any support for the crosscut saw. I also forgot to put a chamfer in here, so I might be taking this off and putting that chamfer here later. I didn't glue anything with these. So if this doesn't work out at all, this little mini sled sucks and I really need the extra height, I'll just take these off and build new ones, you know. Both of these were dead ass straight, dead accurate. They're two different styles. You can see the curves here. I'm kind of sad that I didn't document this because the way I did these curves, I put them to where my thumbs cannot reach the blade. What was real interesting about them was how I cut them, because I have not got my bandsaw up and running yet. It still needs to be cleaned out and gone over. And I hate jigsaws. I can't use jigsaws. I'm terrible with them. I'm better with a sawzall at cutting curves than a jigsaw. So what I did, I measured down and over, and I basically made a dado. All the way down, about 2 inches down. Then it was, I don't know, ½ inch or so. I did that on both sides. Then I ripped along the fence all the way to it. And the reason I made this dado, kinda, these grooves, was so that my blade could come and it wasn't going to cut into here. And that gave me the main shape of it, and then I put it to a drum sanding attachment I had for my drill press. to smooth it all out and get the curve. This kind of goes to show you that there's always a workaround, guys. If you don't have the right tool for the job, just stand back, think about it, and you'll figure it out. But yeah, I hope you liked this crosscut sled build. It was very fun. Good use of the pallet oak. This shit is hard as a rock. I'm gonna put these to good use. I don't have to worry about adjusting to my blade every time with that miter gauge. Now, if I want a straight ass cut on, I know all I gotta do is put it against this board, run it through there, and I have a perfect 90-degree angle to that blade. So hit that like button if you liked it, hit that subscribe button, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace! I just realized I was supposed to be oiling it while I was talking to you, but I didn't. So I wanted to let y'all see it.
Hold up. There's no point in putting the oil in here. Okay. I may actually mess with some of what I'm working on, but hopefully it'll clear pretty quick. But this is why I prefer wood over metal. This is beautiful, man. And all that was just pallet oak. Pallet wood. It's gonna be right away. Not on my watch. So I just might have used a really good spot there, right? There we go. Lighting's kind of bad, but hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I know I did. I'm fine with that.